Hi, everyone. I'm Jeff Garcia, Executive Director of Denver Labor. Auditor O'Brien and I would like to thank you for taking the time to learn a little bit about Denver Labor and how we can help you. My team and I work tirelessly to protect Denver's workforce. That includes employees and employers. We work to ensure lawful employment and enforce the law, but we do so in the least disruptive manner. Go forward. We enforce 5 laws. Prevailing wage. That's the minimum employers need to pay contractors for specific classification of work on Denver-funded construction projects. The Davis-Bacon Act. Similarly, it's the minimum an employer needs to pay on a construction project for a specific classification when the construction project is funded by federal dollars. Minimum wage. That's the minimum anyone working in Denver must be paid. Contractor minimum wage. That's the minimum Denver contractors must pay their employees. And living wage. That's a narrow set of classifications of workers paid by Denver contractors that must be paid a specific minimum wage. When applied correctly, labor laws help everyone. Employers get the workforce they need. Employees get good paying jobs and a lawful wage. And the city gets the goods and services it needs. We try our best to make the law work for everyone. And in doing so, we try to be flexible and as adaptive as possible. If you need our help, or you know yourself or someone else is not being paid the lawful wage, contact my office. Myself or my team will be happy to help you. You can contact us on the web at denverauditor.org/Denver Labor or by email at wagecomplaints@denvergov.org or on the phone at 720-913-5039. Now I'd like to introduce you to one of our investigators. Val's going to tell us all about tenant finish at the airport and how to be compliant. Thanks, and thank you, Val.
Thank you, Jeff. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Valerie Ramirez, lead prevailing wage analyst with the Denver Labor Office located at Denver International Airport. Today, I will be talking to you about the Denver labor requirements on airport tenant projects. Tenant projects with a total contract value of $2,000 or more will be subject to the prevailing wage ordinance 2076 of the Denver Revised Municipal Code. The ordinance is solely enforced by the Auditor's Office. No other city agency has the authority to enforce the requirement. The prevailing wage classifications and rates used for tenant projects are the federal Davis-Bacon wages. However, they are approved by the city's OHR division and contain a supplemental to help contractors substitute any missing wages that does not cover their scope of work. The wages contain a base rate and a bench rate, which is owed on both straight time and overtime hours. Keep in mind that the prevailing wages are minimums. If a contractor establishes a higher rate of pay for off-site work, the contractor must continue to pay the higher rate on the project. The 4 wage determinations most commonly used on tenant projects are building and OHR, which usually apply to tenant spaces located in the terminal and concourses. The heavy and highway determinations are mainly used for work performed outside the foundation of the building, the airport tarmac, and car rental parking lots. Employees working on tenant projects must be classified and paid properly for the work they are performing. The wage determinations are valid for 1 year from the contract bid date. If the project exceeds 365 days from the contract bid date, the analyst will send the current wage determination to the prime contractor, which will then apply for the next 365 days. This cycle repeats itself until the project is complete. The current prevailing wage determinations are posted on our website. They are mainly used for informational purposes. Tenants and contractors should contact the airport prevailing wage office for the correct wages for the tenant project. So some of you may be asking, what is a tenant finish project? A tenant finish project is the build out, remodel, or upgrade of any leased space at the airport. These projects do not go through the normal city contracting process. They are negotiated between the airport, tenant, and the contractor. Tenant projects occur within the main terminal, concourses, and other locations around the airport, such as South Cargo area, Westin Hotel, Final Approach cell phone waiting area, and businesses located at Worldport. It is the tenant's responsibility to contact the prevailing wage office for the appropriate wage determinations and the pre-NTP form, also known as the pre-notice to proceed form. It is also the tenant's responsibility to ensure that the prime contractor receives the information so the prime and their subcontractors can successfully meet the requirements. This is an example of page 1 of the pre-NTP form. The project number is issued by the airport project manager. The tenant completes the 3-part form, signs and dates it, and returns it to the airport prevailing wage office or the analyst assigned to the project. This is an example of pages 2 and 3 of the pre-NTP form. The form must be filled out completely so the project can be set up in LCP Tracker and the prime contractor and subcontractors can be assigned to the project. The contractor set LCP Tracker setup form can also be used to set up new contractors not originally included on the pre-NTP form. This form, along with other resource documents, can be found on our website. All contractors performing work on the project will be required to pay their employees on a weekly basis and submit a weekly certified payroll. Bi-weekly payments to employees and paying in cash is definitely not allowed. The analyst assigned to the project will ask the contractor to provide copies of the time cards and check stubs during the project to verify compliance. The wage determinations and posters in English and in Spanish are required to be posted on the job site and somewhere easily accessible to the employees. A printable version of the posters and wages are available on our website. Other key information that contractors should be aware of. Contractors that classify themselves as owner-operators must also comply with the prevailing wage requirements. Owners must first prove that they are a legitimate business entity and report their hours worked on certified payroll. Salaried personnel performing hands-on work, or like I like to say, getting their hands dirty, are also applicable to the prevailing wage requirements. They must be paid a weekly salary, which is then converted to an hourly rate to ensure they are being paid prevailing wage for the work they are performing. Most tenant projects are done at night to minimize noise for travelers. The airport prevailing wage team performs day and night site visits to ensure all contractors are complying with the requirements. Prevailing wages contain a base rate and a fringe rate. Contractors wanting to use company-paid fringes to offset the fringe portion in the wages may do so, but they must be approved by our fringe benefit administrator. Contractors performing work on tenant projects are not paid through the normal city payment process. The prime contractor is paid directly by the tenant. The tenant should verify with the prevailing wage analyst that the prevailing wage analyst that all contractors are compliant with the requirements before issuing the payment. The tenant must ensure that there are no outstanding prevailing wage issues before final payment can be released to the contractor. The airport project manager will follow up with our office to verify there are no outstanding issues, so the performance bond taken out on the project can be released. Additional resources can be found at our website or on our website at denverauditor.org. These are some of the resource documents found on our website. I encourage you to watch the LCP Tracker training videos, which were created to assist contractors with submitting certified payroll in LCP Tracker. The common mistakes to avoid document is very helpful to ensure your success when working on tenant finish and construction projects. If you're a contractor that is going to be working on a Denver project, and would like to start the fringe benefit approval process, you can start by looking at the fringe benefit spreadsheet. And for more detailed fringe benefit information, please watch the Facebook fringe benefit presentation by Abby Kreckman done on July the 29th. In this presentation, Abby discusses the entire fringe benefit approval process in detail. As I end my presentation, I would like to introduce to you the Denver Labor Airport team. If you have any questions regarding the airport tenant or just general construction projects located at the airport, please do not hesitate to reach out to one of my team members for assistance. Thank you for your time today. And now I'll let Jeff take it over and see if there's any questions from our viewers.
Thanks, Valerie. That was very informative. At the moment, we don't have any Facebook questions, but we are going to continue to do this kind of informational session every Wednesday, what we're calling Wage Wednesdays. So please, if you have any questions, contact us at one of the means on the slide here, whether it's contacting Val regarding the airport or a question about fringe benefits. You can even submit a question on Facebook. And also look on our Facebook calendar for events. We will be continuing to give this kind of informational session every Wednesday until the end of the year. Thank you, and thank you for everyone for listening. Val, such a wonderful job.